So the event just finished for the DualSense controller, and it wasn't as big as we originally thought. I personally said that it's most likely just going to be his impressions of the controller. He gave some pretty detailed impressions, and we're going to go over that. But some interesting information was also discussed when the marketing head at Sony came. Eric Lempel, I believe that was his name. They had a discussion in regards to recent rumors for the pre-order, customization for the PlayStation 5, SSD, all of that good stuff. And we got some information that we didn't know and before in regards to the DualSense controller. So I'm just going to go over my notes. Obviously, this is, again, an unscripted video. So let's go over through the notes. The first thing right off the bat that I quickly noted was the back of the controller has nothing. So yesterday I was saying that most likely it's nothing, but how it seems like Sony has been playing coy with not really showcasing, taking different vantage points to not really showcase the back of the controller that something could be there, along with the hype that everybody else was thinking that, yeah, there's probably something there. There wasn't anything there. That was quickly revealed. And then he went after to talk about the adaptive triggers, haptic feedback, the speaker on the controller. So in terms of the adaptive triggers and haptic feedbacks, it's a lot of stuff that we've heard before in the sense of, pulling the bow and the haptic feedbacks being more than just regular rumble. There's more areas where it's a deeper feel. And then he went into the speaker, and this was a good piece of information in regards to the speaker, that he said it's wider in range, I believe is what he said. So basically it's a much better speaker than the DualShock 4. We also got into a conversation with the Tempest 3D audio, and he said the experience is really different once you combine the speaker on the controller, the feel of the controller, what's going on with it, and all of these features, and the 3D audio. It's a different type of experience. And then he talked about the feeling of the controller, which is one of the most important things that I wanted to know, where he says it weighs more than the DualShock 4, but not substantially more than a DualShock 4. It feels more structured, more centered, which sounds like how people felt from the DualShock 3 to the DualShock 4. It just felt more sturdier. Once you held a DualShock 4, you never wanted to hold a DualShock 3. So I'm assuming for the DualSense controller, it's going to be the same thing. You don't want to hold the DualShock 4. You're going to love the feel of the DualSense controller. So I'm excited for that. And then he started playing the Playroom Demo, which a lot of people guessed yesterday that that's what he was going to look into. And he gave us some pretty solid information in regards to it, saying that it's not just a demo just to test out the different features of the controller. It is that, but it is also a multi-hour game. So it's almost like a nice little mini game, but not just a demo just to, mess around in and just leave. This is actually a game that they're preloading on the PlayStation 5 for day one. And then he went into actual examples of how things felt. So he went into a sand environment, and he was showcasing the audio and how he was bringing it up to the mic and how you could hear the sand, the sandstorm hitting you and stuff like that. And then he went into this frog demo where it was a kind of a way to showcase the adaptive triggers and different levels of pulling the trigger to make the frog jump, and using, I believe, 6-axis to move left and right by physically moving the controller left and right. And then I have here the sound of the controller is very crisp, mainly because he did this thing that he called not ASMR, but actually PSMR. He was playing on the name of PlayStation, but basically he brought it up to the mic, and you could hear every little thing that was going on. So his footsteps on the snow, you could hear the sandstorm, you could hear the wind. It was very, very clean. And one of the things that I also wanted to note was that Jeff wasn't expecting this demo today. So yesterday I said that they are probably doing this demo mainly because of that leak that we had earlier this week. And again, that controller could have been fake, but this is more of a reason why I don't think it was, mainly because Jeff said he wasn't expecting this demo. So this wasn't something scheduled. He just found out about it this week. That we don't know what date. Was it before the controller leak, or did they know that the controller was going to leak, so they just decided to do their own event? Who knows? But regardless, I think that leak is pretty legitimate, more so than yesterday, because As I said yesterday, they probably did this event because of that leak, and it sounds like it based off what Jeff said, because it's basically what he said, that this was a surprise thing for him to do. But to continue on, he also blew in the controller, which is a very, I think, is it Vita? Vita, I want to say, a very Vita thing, where I remember in Tearaway, I think it was Tearaway, where you're able to blow on the Vita itself, and then it blows into the game. So that's a very Vita thing. I'm excited for it. I hope they do a Tearaway for the PlayStation 5, but he didn't talk about what the mic could do or AI or anything in that regards. He just blew into the controller. And then they went into this conversation with Eric Lempel in regards to Sony. And one of the biggest things they addressed was that PlayStation and how they're doubling down on generations. They're basically, Jeff Keighley acknowledges what Microsoft has been saying. He said it's a controversy. And the thing for me, again, I don't like saying this, it's only a controversy because if I feel like Microsoft made it a controversy, that they keep saying generations, we want to be consumer friendly and all of that. And then you have the Xbox fan base arguing with the PlayStation fan base, because PlayStation obviously is about generations, about leaving the past and going forward, while Xbox is taking this full 180 approach in regards to what they did in 2013, which they were trying to move something towards the future and not done before. And this time they're like more consumer friendly, more this, and it's different sides, but that argument came into the conversation in this talk, and Eric Lempel pretty much doubled down on generations. They want to do generations. They want to push the boundaries of play. They want to let developers do what they want, and giving them next gen piece of hardware, but kind of restricting them with something from 2013 is not really the best move. I think it's what PlayStation's kind of going for, but regardless, Sony's going for generations in the sense that they're moving forward, pushing the boundaries. Xbox is going for a more consumer-friendly approach, and that's what it is. That's the situation right now. And he also said the PS4 still has a lot of life in it, which I've said multiple times. The PS4 has a lot of life in it, and Sony is one of the companies that supports the console years after the new generation has launched. They've been doing this for past generations, so if you have a PS4, don't think the PS4 is just going to die out right after the PlayStation 5 comes out. Don't worry about that. So then they went into this conversation about the SSD, and it's a lot of the stuff that we already heard in regards, and they bring up Ratchet and Clank, which is, again, I guess the best example that people keep bringing up, and those portals that you're able to jump through, and basically saying that if they wanted to bring this game to the PlayStation 4, they would have to fundamentally change the game, because you just can't do what they're trying to do with the PlayStation 5 on the PlayStation 4, which, again, is understandable, especially that Portals feature. And we all kind of knew this, but it was kind of reiterated in this video. I think Jeff Keighley really wanted to hammer down that this is a next-gen feature. We can't have this on last gen. And then they talked about pre-orders, and this was the part of the video where I kind of smiled, because they addressed the rumors that came out earlier this week about Monday we're gonna have pre-orders and stuff like that. And apparently Jeff Keighley was reporting that there was people lining up. I've seen some people comment that they were lining up to GameStop and it never happened. They were upset about it. And he's saying that Sony is surprised. He was surprised that this was going around, who brought this up. We all know who brought it up, but they were surprised by people actually thinking that pre-orders was going to happen. And he basically said, we'll let you know when pre-orders will happen. There's no need to rush. Essentially, again, it could be a blog post. That's the basic rumor. I know he's saying don't rush. We'll let you know when pre-orders happen. But the thing about it is, that's also just going to be another blog post. Jeff Keighley basically pointed out that, hey, they dropped the box art in a moment's notice, stuff like that. They've been dropping blog posts throughout the year at random points. People just don't know, and then you have a big piece of news from PlayStation. So that's why people are worried that this pre-order thing is just going to happen out of nowhere. But I think the point is that they're going to have an announcement, but the pre-orders won't go live at that same moment that the announcement is, but rather that you're going to get information on when pre-orders will go live, and then you can get yourself set up for when pre-orders go live to get your console. I think that was the basic point of that conversation there. which is again what lined up with the rumors that Sony is actually just gonna announce it, not necessarily just let pre-orders go live. And one of the last things they talked about was custom controller and console designs. Jeff Keighley was like, are we going to get different colors? What's going on with that? And again, I appreciate Jeff Keighley for really asking the questions a lot of people want, but I knew we weren't going to get the answers. And Eric Lempel basically didn't say no. He just said we'll talk about it at some point. So again, this goes with earlier reports that Sony is going to have customizations for the PlayStation 5. And why wouldn't they? They've had them for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3. Xbox has them for everything. So they're going to have it for the PlayStation 5 as well. You're going to get your color variations, so don't worry about that. But that was basically everything that happened there. I'm excited, man. I'm jealous of Jeff Keighley for holding the controller. I wish I could hold it myself. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Is this what you expected, or did you expect more? And yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps. And for today's thing, the after show, again, when I make quick videos, people want to know what after show, just drop Astrobot in the comments below, because these types of videos I don't really prepare for. I kind of just wing it as opposed to my scripted videos. So drop Astrobot in the comments below if you're excited for the PlayStation 5, the DualSense controller. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.